Hello, welcome to the video. This might be a little bit of a ramble, but I hope if you have this car, if you have a 2023 Kia Niro plug-in hybrid, that it might be useful to you. We're going to go into a bunch of different places, all of which stem from an oil change I did at 6,130 miles, which was my first oil change. But yeah, I would basically just recommend keep an eye on your dipstick. Don't be afraid to pull that out. Look at the level of the oil on that dipstick and give it a smell. And don't become a hypochondriac, but I think as plug-in hybrid owners, we might have specific issues that other cars just don't have to deal with. Predominantly being very short time uses for the combustion engine, and how you might light your engine up at 10, 20 degrees outside, which I'm doing now, and what results from essentially taking a cold engine and making it do work with a high pressure fuel pump, a gas direct injected fuel pump, which is what we have here. It's a Kappa 2 GDI engine. And so I have a whole video coming, which is the history of all Hyundai engines from alpha, beta, gamma, theta, to our Kappa engine, which is the final iteration of this was in 2016. And then the Smart Stream system came in, but we'll talk about that. Honestly, if you're still watching this video, I would recommend just have your oil changed potentially more frequently, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the service recommendations that Kia makes, you'll see that severe driving conditions are considered anything which create or involve short trips of less than 5 miles for the gas engine, or less than 10 miles when it's freezing or below freezing out, or when you are driving on rough or dusty roads, or driving up and down hills repeatedly, as I guess part of your commute or part of a routine with the car, or salt spread roads. I'll try to put a graphic up with what Kia determines as severe driving conditions, but essentially that takes your 8 to 10,000 mile oil change down to 5. And I can tell you, yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And it's ironic because we have a car where, depending on your lifestyle, you may not use that engine very much at all. You might keep fuel pressurized. It's a pressurized fuel tank in your fuel tank for a week, 2, 3 weeks. It could be a month or more. I mean, depending on really how much work you're getting out of your electric system. I know I'm getting a lot. I think 7 out of every 10 miles is electric. But the issue is when I drive home from work and the engine kicks on when it's 10 degrees out and I only have 3 miles left, the engine, I've noticed, takes at least 4 to 6 minutes to heat up at right around freezing. If I'm at least pushing 2,500 RPMs. And so the engine and crankcase have no time to heat up, but there's what's called blow-by gases getting through the piston and the rings on the piston down the cylinder wall into your crankcase. And that's why keeping an eye on the level of the oil is important. I don't want to scare anyone. I love this car. I think the fit and finish is great. Like I'm very happy. But I think like a lot of us who spend money on something, it's like, it's very easy. It's very hard to make money. It's very easy to spend it very quickly. And we want to be proud of the things that we put our money towards. And, so I want it to be reliable. Like I took down my original video on the exact service requirements for the Kia Niro, because I see that if these conditions are considered severe by Kia, it means they must already be seeing issues that can arise when you barely use the engine at all. So I won't get into that, but I plan on going as deep as you can. I'll be having a scope down, after, so I'm having the oil tested at this place called Blackstone Laboratories. It's $35. If you go to their website, they'll send you a kit. I asked for 2 kits, And so I'm gonna test the first bit of oil. I'm gonna test my next oil change. You just fill up the container inside this, wrap it up, put a check in there for $35. And it seems like they do a pretty good and comprehensive examination of your oil. So let's see. So I'm also scouting for data online because something you might be interested in is that, you know, they've sold, the Kia Niro sales are up 35% from last year. So where they sold 25,000 of these in the US last year, they're up to 32 or 33,000 now. They're going to be up to at least 10,000 more, so 35,000. What's interesting is, you know, Kia makes like 2.8 million cars each year. In Korea, they make about 1.5 million cars, which I just find incredible. And they sell about exactly the amount. So they sell about 35,000 to the US market, you know, the most ever in the US market. Meanwhile, Prius is selling like 120,000, but they're selling about exactly as many to these as America as they do to Korea, to their own people there. And then they're selling 80,000 plus to Europe. And so I might use a VPN to get into a server in Denmark, and I'd like to start watching their YouTube videos and seeing what kind of honest reviews are going on about the car in cold climates, specifically, because I feel like these GDI engines, these gas direct injected engines, which, just so you know, I'll have another video coming out on all these Hyundai engines, like all of them. Especially our Kappa 2 engine that we use in our car. But essentially, because of microcontrollers and the ability to actually control the amount of spray going down, you know, you have 4 of these cylinders with a piston going up and down and rings that seal it up against the cylinder walls. And then right up where the spark plug is, you have fuel directly injected, gas direct injected, so fuel directly injected into that chamber. Whereas a traditional injected engine injects fuel, atomized fuel, into the air that goes through the valves into that chamber and then is combusted. This all happens in that chamber and under very high pressure. I find it very interesting, though, if you're still watching this, is that when we downshift in sport mode on these cars, there's very little compression. There's very little braking at all, compression braking at all, because of this Atkinson cycle, where you get more air and apparently less compression when you need it, say, for braking. But we'll get to that in another video. The point of this video is just to share that I'll be testing this oil. I've been taking samples. I've changed the oil twice so far. I'm having those tested, and I'll let you know about the results. Still love the car. I think there's a lot of intelligence in this car and that it still should hold up to be a great family vehicle. But I think if you live in colder climates, it might be worth modifying your driving to accommodate the fact that you have basically a passenger with you at all times, which is your combustion engine. And if you're going to ask it to do work at, say, highway speeds without warming up, there's a possibility that you should be changing your oil more often, because you could be getting more of these blow-by gases. Again, I'll get my lab results, and I'm going to look for a separate lab to take a look at the oil, because the issue is, when I smell it, although it's not as if it ignites, I've been changing my own oils for over 20 years. And after 6,100 miles, although I know now, if you meet these severe driving conditions, you should be changing your oil more often, like 5,000. I'm probably going to start changing my oil every 3,000 miles. So I'll let you know about the results. If you have a Kia and Kia Niro plug-in specifically, and you have, say, I would love to talk to people that are over 80 to 120,000 miles, but please leave a comment. Doesn't matter if you like or subscribe. I would just love anyone who knows about these cars to leave a comment. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy your cars like I have. I want to be very thorough about how we explore what issues might come up. And it seems like this is one of them. The Kia Niro forum online seems to be a great resource. And yeah, I just want to know all I can and share it with you guys. So thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.